Now, the fourth part of global alerts, using the globe and globe-trotting, time traveling. So, the fourth and last of our global alerts is that the global economy is crashing. More and more people are being unemployed, are losing their jobs. Companies are crashing. From where I'm sitting today, in the end of December in Brazil, Sao Paulo, the companies have crashed. The dollar has exploded. The local currency has crashed. Just like what happened and has been happening in Argentina, in Turkey, and many parts of the world. Why is this happening? It's speculative attacks on the Brazilian real, on other countries. Pakistan has crashed, Sri Lanka has crashed, European countries have crashed, Japan has crashed. A few places are surviving because they took very, very intelligent decisions over the last 10 years. Southeast Asia, the ASEAN bloc, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam. These countries have done an incredible job at improving the lives of their citizens. Lots of people are migrating to Southeast Asia. India has been, over the last 10 years, during the Modi era, getting its house in order. They are now becoming a global hub for peace and prosperity and trade. And a lot of investment is coming to India. Other places of the world, unfortunately, are having a lot of problem. Let's globetrot and find out. Let's talk a little bit about Latin America. Argentina is the only country in Latin America that is dominated by the US. So what the Americans are doing and have been doing over the last 10, 20 years is turning the tables in South America. All the South American regimes that are left of center, that want to help the poor people, the syndicates, the agriculturalists, that want to be free and take their own decisions, from Mexico to Chile, Brazil, and all of the Caribbean countries, are suffering speculative attacks on their currencies, political propaganda. Billions of dollars are being spent for YouTube scam videos. They're bringing down the governments. And so there is a campaign orchestrated by the United States to bring South America down, because they do not want South America to join the global South, which is what's going to remain of the globe after the next 2 years. Everything is going to crash. We will have wars, but the global South will remain, because the eastern coast of Africa, the coast of India, Southeast Asia, are not involved in these wars and are doing business on their own now without the dollar. They will survive, and people want to join them. Now we have rumors that France wants to join the BRICS. Italy, they say, has already joined the BRICS. It's unbelievable. So the United States is in danger of losing the dollar's control over the world, and they can print the dollars as much as they want to and go on running deficits and financing wars. And so once nobody wants dollars and does business in dollars, it's the end for the United States. Let's talk a little bit more about the United States. What's going on? They're broke. They've crashed. Retail, Walmart and Target have crashed. Many of the big companies have left cities. So many cities have become ghettos. The Rust Belt is all over the country. No jobs, no shops for people to shop at. Many of the people living in the ghettos have no access anymore to supermarkets where they can buy stuff. They're being isolated, probably on purpose, so that the white supremacy can eliminate the non-white population of Afro-Americans, Latins, immigrants, and people coming from Central America and the Caribbean. So we know that there is a conspiracy by neo-Nazis and by supremacist groups of controlling the US government through media campaigns and destabilizing the rest of the world through media scamming and promoting people who are against the South American governments. And they say that it's to make America great again. Crime is out of control. War and hate and racism is not going to make anyone great, as we can see from Europe. The last 10 years has shown extreme racism in Europe, extreme hate. What's really happening in the United States? First of all, we have desertification. So there's a large part of the United States where there's nobody. No life. Another problem is the region of California. The ice cap is melting. There's storms, terrible storms. It's an earthquake zone, the biggest in the world. Many people are moving out of California. You have forest fires, you have inundations, you have all kinds of problems. So people are leaving. The northeast of the United States, snowstorms. Many cities are in the winter under 20, 30 degrees. It's hell. People are leaving. The Midwest, the farmers are broke. The Chinese are not buying any more products from America, especially farm products. So the Midwest has totally crashed. They're in severe debt. And we have, apart from the farmers who have crashed, we have Oklahoma and Florida, non-stop thunderstorms, hurricanes, and floods. The economy is crashing. The United States is not exporting much anymore because their factories have collapsed, are empty. They transferred production to China 20 years ago. Now nobody does anything in America anymore. And you don't learn this thing overnight. It takes decades. Then they have spent billions and billions of dollars promoting wars. After 11th of September, invade Afghanistan, invade Iraq, invade everywhere, have 800 military bases all over the world, send billions of dollars to Ukraine and Israel, and non-stop billions of dollars. So this money has been wasted and is gone. And American people who needed this investment have not received this investment. So they've been basically kicked out of the economy. And they're living in ghettos in Detroit, Chicago, and San Francisco, Los Angeles, in the fentanyl belt, in the tent cities all over the United States. Nobody cares about them because the fight is for power between Republicans and Democrats, between the pro-Israel Jewish lobby and the syndicate left lobby that have no money. And it's really complicated because it's sinking, the debt is increasing, they're printing more and more money, more and more debt. And nobody really cares because the next group that are coming will inherit a horror from the people who were there for 4 years and inherited a horror from the people who were there. So when you're not in government for more than 4 years, it's okay, it's not my problem. Somebody else's problem. So the whole political system is a disaster because after 4 years it's over. A new group come and then another 4 years it's over. And during 4 years it's all about getting re-elected and selling people the fake idea that we will give you this, we will give you that, and we will make you great again. The situation in Europe and America is the worst ever. So whatever promises of being great, returning to being great, is a scam, a big lie. And people should understand that the next 2 years, it's basically closure. Another thing that I would like to comment upon is the concept of GDP, the concept of the profitability, the concept of we are the greatest, we are the best, and we have so many people. It's all a lie unless you're an idiot. It's a lie. GDP is fake. What GDP? What do they include in GDP? It's useless. The concepts for GDP are totally irrelevant, totally fake. It doesn't represent the real situation of the economy. If you owe just the US government $38 trillion, it's not included in the GDP. For example, the Chinese population, 1.5 billion people. Now there are rumors, and there's research that maybe it's not more than 800 million. It's half of what they have been selling the world. We are powerful because we have a lot of people. And we know that there are thousands of factories that have been abandoned, hundreds of cities that are empty, ghost towns. And in Europe, it's the same thing. Factories are closing. There are cities where there's nobody. The real GDP is maybe 50% below what they're saying, and maybe that's being positive. The population is crashing. The young people are not there. The real situation of population, the demographics, the real situation of GDP and economic welfare is at least 50% less than all the fake scamming that the media and the governments have been saying. So welcome to 2025, where the GDP of most countries is probably 50% below. The population is maybe 20, 30, 40% below. And they're hiding the old people. Some countries like Italy, you have 40% of the population over 40, 50. It's the end of the road. No more young people. The schools are closing. The creches are closing. In England, it's the same story. And they're refusing to accept young people from the rest of the world. It doesn't make sense. And it's never made sense. So, in 2025, I would like everybody to get better and get smarter and get better at getting smarter. Do not fall for government propaganda, religious propaganda. What God? What are they talking about? It's the cosmos. If you are believing in a God with a beard who blows up the world and kills people and punishes people, you're not talking about a God. You're talking about a tribal boss. And we've had a lot here in the Middle East. They're not gods, okay? They're bosses. There is one source of creation for the universe. And we have to stop believing in fake religions and fake gods and fake religious propaganda. People are burning in Gaza. Gaza is hell. There is no other hell where the souls go and are burnt. They're burnt here. And heaven on earth is here. If anybody has been to Singapore, if anybody has been to Bhutan, you have witnessed moments of paradise on earth. And I have spent time in Singapore. It's wonderful. I've been to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's wonderful. So, heaven on earth, hell on earth. And it's because of people. It's got nothing to do with demons or God. Okay, we have the sun, the Lucifer effect, a lot of sun. Okay, it's got nothing to do with the persona Lucifer. It's the sun burning a part of the world. So let's get better at getting smarter. And let's open our hearts and our mind and fill our world with empathy and compassion. And say no to war, to racism, to supremacy. And let's hope that in 2025, only women are elected. That there should be a ban on men being elected. Because men have failed all over the world. We should give women a chance. Thanks for watching and welcome to 2025.